And we move into the second part of our segment. Our guest speaker, Dilip Sarkar, a retired vascular surgeon who's also a certified yoga therapist and Ayurvedic yoga therapist. He has been one of the foremost experts in yoga therapy, both as a presenter teaching people yoga and also practicing yoga in addition to writing books on the theoretical concepts. As you will hear Dilipji frequently mention, yoga is 99% practice and just 1% theory. Nevertheless, he takes the time to make sure that his practices are well supported by scientific and evidence-based practices, and he's put out various CDs, like I said. That's his website, dilipsarkar.com. He has many videos that he's posted on his YouTube channel, and you may choose to follow along with him almost in his daily Facebook Live yoga sessions that he offers in current situation. And for those of you who are joining us today and missed the earlier episode that was aired on 15th, we talked about that in that episode about the historical timeline. When did yoga as a thought, as a philosophy, started emerging right back to the Vedas? And then what are the more recent times, like in the last 2,000 years, the texts that have come, starting with the Bhagavad Gita, which talks about Sankhya philosophy and yoga sadhana, that pursuing knowledge as a way to go beyond yourself, dhyana, which we are talking about now, karma, selfless activity, or pure devotion, bhakti. We also focused on Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, the 8 limbs. And Dilipji had mentioned that meditation is not just one limb, the 7th limb of dhyana in yoga, but it is actually inbuilt in every aspect of yoga. And he led us through mudra meditation and what exactly each mudra does and how it can be used in addition to whatever meditation technique you're using to enhance your experience. Welcome back, Dilipji. It's such a delight. I've been thinking more about what we've spoken about, that every aspect of yoga is meditation, whether it's the yama concepts, whether it's the poses, asanas, the quietness that you get. I think it was a beautiful example you gave about when we do a particular asana and we're holding it for a certain time and there is shivering and there is, your body is getting used to it, and then you go through it and there is a stiram and there is a quietness that emerges. I've not heard that as beautifully said as you did. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that.
Namaskar, Purnaji. It's my honor and privilege to be with you. And as I said to everybody, I don't teach anything. I share my practice and experience with all of you. That is my sharing. I'm going to share with you what I practice.
Thank you. I know today's focus is pranayama. And of course, the word pranayama doesn't mean breath, but pranayama is always associated with breathing exercises. I'd like to hear your discussion of what is the connection between breath and prana.
Yeah. So the pranayama was very clearly described in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Okay? If you look at Hatha Yoga Pradipika, there's at the end, it's called a suspension of your breath and reducing your rate of your breathing. So the word prana, pranayama. So prana is a very esoteric concept. The prana is not really being even described in your Western medical practice. East prana, we say it is a subtle energy. It's a non-measurable energy. We have a lot of energies in our body. We have a magnetic energy, electromagnetic energy, electrical energies, muscle contraction energies, vibrational energies, but prana cannot be measured. It's a non-measurable energy. But this energy is being carried by your breath. So the metaphorically, if you look at the prana is like your electricity and breath is like an electric cable. So the breath is bringing the prana. Then according to yogic tradition, your lung is not doing the breathing only. Your whole body does breathing. The skin is breathing, liver is breathing, kidneys are breathing. So your breath is taking the prana to the organ of healing. And that is called a pranic healing. When the pranic healing takes place, again, the meditation starts. Because why? My meditation, the quieting down of your mind doesn't take place because I have a dis-ease. When you spell disease, D-I-S space E-A-S-E. And also in Sanskrit, disease is called ashuk. Aw means no, shuk is a happiness. When you've gone, so I'm in a disease, I'm not in a meditative state. So pranic healing is very important. So basically, what is a pranayama practice is, after you're preparing with your asana, which is a relaxation response, which is activation of your parasympathetic tone. We call rest and digest, calm and digest. Then we relax the muscles of our breathing. All the muscles of our breathing is attached to your arm. We can do a lot of hand balancing poses, hand strengthening poses, and then we do very effortlessly, breathing out longer than breathing in. Lung is like a balloon. It has a vital capacity of 4.5 liter. We only breathe 0.5 liter. The moment you start, always in yogic practice, you start breathing out. So if you take a deep breath in, that whole air is sitting in the top of that all the air in the lung. It is not doing anything. In medical term, it's called a dead space. So I breathe out first. I take a deep breath in effortlessly. How much I can take? Yes, easily you can take 2 seconds in, 3 seconds in, 4 seconds in. We've been doing for so long. We can have 8 seconds in, 10 seconds in very easily. Then you breathe out at least 1.5 or 2 times. Count of 2 in, count of 4 out. If you keep doing it slowly and slowly, exhalation longer than inhalation, then you enter into a state of meditative practice. Then we have a set of pranayamas we do. We do a Bhastrika, Kapalbhati, Anulom Vilom, the alternate nostril breathing. Then we'll do a Bhramri Pranayam, which control your 5 senses. Then your Ujjayi Pranayam. Then is your Shitali Pranayam, Sitkari Pranayam. We call it Savitri Pranayam, we call it Murcha Pranayam. Again, these pranayamas are also your activation and balancing, a therapeutic. So this is a very nice example. If you give me just 30 seconds to explain, suppose in Western term, yoga as a therapy is a pill. The pill is your asana. The pill has an active ingredient. I give a Tylenol. Tylenol has an active ingredient called acetoaminophene. So the active ingredient is your pranayama. And then the mechanism of action, how does the pill works, is your meditation. Meditation is ultimate. That is your mechanism of action. So my ingredient for healing, ingredient for my all the meditative practice is pranayama. So in your Bhastrika, which is the active inhalation and active exhalation, we can do a little practice, or we have a practice, we could show it later, little later. It is called a prano pradhan pranayama. It's bringing prana to my body, and it's removing all the toxic carbon dioxide, and it is doing a pranic healing. In a Kapalbhati pranayam, called a Kapalbhati, Kapal is a forehead, Bhati is a shining. It removes the active exhalation. We practice all in the morning with an empty stomach. When in your Kapalbhati pranayama, remove all the toxins, so your teja goes high up. This is called a Agni Pradhan pranayam. It ignites my Jathar Agni. When Jathar Agni is ignited, my food gets properly digested. It gets into called Saptadhatu. Finally produces substance called ojas. It is called a prano pradhan pranayam. Then alternate nostril breathing, when you close one nostril, breathe in through one nostril and breathe out through the other nostril. Anulom Vilom pranayam, that is called a vayu pradhan pranayam. It balances your vata.
So Dilipji, if someone wanted, of course, Yoga Sutra and many of the other initial texts don't go into the details of what are the kinds of pranayama. So for people especially for whom asanas maybe they already know it, or physically that's not what they can comfortably do. Where is a resource? Where can they go to learn about the various kinds of pranayamas? How can someone learn how to do it?
Actually, if you ask me, where did I learn it? First, obviously, we read a little bit of your scriptures from the book. The book has the description, no question about it. The descriptions are there. Then you go ahead and learn it from your guru. And guru, as you know, the word guru says guru. Gu is the darkness, ru is the remover of the darkness. What does it mean? That means I have all the pranayama practice within me, and you as my guru, what you have done, you remove my darkness. Huh? And you're my teacher. You know the teacher is called your remover of your ignorance. I have ignorance, you removed it. So basically how we learned is our own experiential practice. This is our introspection. That basically the whole yoga practices. We call it the experiential, call it the experimental. Slowly and slowly you will see, I'm doing alternate nostril breathing, then I can do it without closing my nostril. That is called meditative alternate nostril breathing. It will come to you slowly. And again, if you ask me, how do I learn any of the yoga? 99% practice, 1% theory. Karo yog, raho nirog, karo yog, you learn everything. So a primary meditative pranayama will be a Brahmari pranayama, bumblebee breathing. You shut down your five senses, you create a sound of a bumblebee, and it cancels the vibration. Another with your alternate nostril, Anulom Vilom pranayama, without closing your nostril. And then you can do your, like a Chandravidi pranayama. Left nostril is your Chandra Nadi, right nostril is your Surya Nadi. So Chandravidi pranayama. Cooling pranayamas like Sitali pranayama, Sitkari pranayama, they're also very powerful meditative pranayama.
And that is the interesting part. With just using exhalations, inhalations, and the space between, it is almost like triggering various parts of your brain, whether it's the parasympathetic nervous system, like the Anuloma Viloma aspect of relaxation. It is absolutely brilliant how simple inhalation and exhalation, done consciously with certain parts of our body and how we hold it, has such profound effect. I'm curious, as a Western trained physician and a surgeon, what are some pranayamas that you have found in your experience to be absolutely powerful, even in their simplicity, if there are just a few?
As I said, the first simple technique, like we call it the yoga therapy, the art of transformation. It transforms you from rogi to nirogi to yogi. So when you are rogi, what pranayama you do? You may not be able to do even 30 seconds. That's okay. You start. Exhalation longer than inhalation. As a Western trained physician, I'm going to train. Slowly in the next to the rogi, I train them first with alternate nostril breathing, because that is balancing both sides of the brain. Then I do a very simple Bastrika pranayama. Always teach them to do it with eyes closed. When the eyes closed, they bring their awareness to your breath, and it is a very powerful technique. A Brahmari pranayama, I teach them every person who is a rogi, I teach them Brahmari pranayama first. Because the Brahmari pranayama is the most meditative pranayama. The moment you shut down your five senses, put your finger here, close your eyes, close your ear, close your mouth, bring out, take a deep breath in. Within a short time, you have to do 2-3 times. And what I do when I do, like I do big class, 200, 300 people there, and I do Brahmari pranayama, then I finish it, Aparna is watching it. Everybody is doing all different directions because they're totally, separated, totally, transcendental state. All the pranayama, slowly and slowly when you do, these are all very gentle practice. People say, Ujjayi pranayama, very like, I'm not using my all the accessory muscle of respiration. So as a Western trained physician, I see that whole pranayama is, again, remember what he said, from a brainstem is going to the cortical area. So I'm subconscious to conscious.
I have one last question for you, and then to however you want to close out this part. Frequently, people will inhale through their mouth rather than the nose. I've heard that it's a preference, or there's research that support that breathing through nose is somehow different from breathing through mouth. I wonder if you could speak to that basic concept.
Yes, you never breathe through our mouth. Why? When you breathe through my nose, my breath is going through the nose, and the air is getting filtered. I have a lot of filtering mechanism in my nose. Then also, nose is my personal air conditioner. If outside air is warm, it cools it down. Outside air is cool, it warms it up. Then when it goes, it has two areas on the side of the nose called turbinate, and the turbinate guides the air, which goes to your larynx. It goes to your lung. Then in the process also, when the air goes through your nose, it secretes a substance called your nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is a powerful vasodilator, and it's also an activator of parasympathetic tone. So breathing through the nostril, you also get an activation of your relaxation response. And the air that goes through your lung, upper part of the lung, middle part, lower part, then the respiration takes place. And you're breathing through your mouth. You have no idea where the air has gone in. It has gone through your esophagus to your stomach, or gone to the lung, and that breathing also has no effect in my body. Now, you're absolutely right. Somebody says, I need to breathe through my mouth. So what you do more physiologically is you breathe in through your nostril and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nostril, breathe out through your mouth. But one thing happens there. We have the muscles of inspiration, muscles of expiration. So when I'm doing the breathing inhalation, my muscles of inspiration is working. When I'm also doing passively exhalation, my muscles of expiration is also working. But when I'm doing through the mouth, the muscles of expirations are not working anymore. Slowly and slowly you lose that function, and you won't be able to do it a proper breathing when you are sleeping.
Understand.
So for us, all the pranayama practices through
the nose. And I know that the Shitali, Shitkari, there are specific pranayama that are designed to breathe through your mouth, and they accomplish, I'm assuming, very different purposes, cooling purposes. Just to clarify for people that there are specific pranayama that go through the mouth. Is that not correct?
Yes. So when you practice a Shitali and Shitkari pranayama, we tell them this is a cooling pranayama. It is going to cool down your body. It is not affecting any function of your lung, and it may not be affecting any of your respiratory system. It is very powerful for your pitta. We'll tell you when you do this, your therapeutic pranayama called Ayurvedic meditation will show it to you that. So in a Shitali pranayama, what you're doing, we're taking a tongue out, roll the tongue, and breathe in through our tongue. Close your mouth, breathe out through your nose. If you cannot, I might stick my tongue out, breathe through my teeth, called Shitkari pranayama. Another called Sadanto pranayama. Put your tongue high up in the hard palate, you can breathe. In a short time, you feel a tremendous amount of cooling. Very good for women with hot flashes. Mm-hmm. Very good for your like a reflux disease, gastroesophageal reflux, very good for your inflammatory disease, pitta-related disorder, heart disease, cooling down of pitta. But so this pranayama, is exactly clearly set from mouth, is different purpose, is a cooling effect of the pranayama.
And I guess to wrap this up, when it comes to meditation and the role of pranayama as one of the angas in yoga, pranayama practices help the body, the brain balance out, harmonize, and moves the person into a meditative state.
Exactly. So very simple. I can give an example. I think I talked to you many times. I'm flying a kite. My kite is my mind, and the roller with the thread is my body, and the thread, the connecting the roller to the kite, is my breath. So my breath is, remember, I'm flying the kite from the holding this here. This is my body, and the kite is my mind. And who is controlling the body and mind is your breath. So pranayama is a connector between your body and mind. And remember, in a meditative practice, it's as simple as it is. If your physical body is not ready, if your breath is not ready, breath has to be totally effortless ease. You can never do meditation. Meditation is not that I'm doing a meditation. Meditation is coming to you. I do a very long practice that how to prepare your body and breath for meditation. I do another very interesting, sorry to interrupt you. I do call your dinacharya, daily routine, as a preparatory to meditation.
It's, I think, beautifully how you said it. Meditation is not something that you have to do, but meditation is what happens when you do the other things. Very nicely said, Dilipji, and I know that we have another couple of segments on Ayurveda and lifestyle, but I really appreciate you taking the time and talking to us about the simple but powerful practice of pranayama. Namaste, Dilipji.